What's up, guys? Huge news right now because Kyrie Irving, as long as he doesn't get the shot, we all know that he cannot play in home games in New York City. And that means Brooklyn and that means Manhattan. So he wouldn't be able to play 41 home games and then the few games that they actually play at MSG. But now the Nets rather, are coming out and saying, we don't want him at all. Like, if he doesn't want to get the shot, we're not going to have a part-time player. And first, guys, I want to read what the Nets are actually saying, because this stuff is legit. Like, this stuff is shocking, to be honest, because I didn't expect this from the Knicks. So first of all, they come out with a statement that says if he's going to be a part-time player, we don't want him to play at all. So he needs to stay away from the team. No games, no practices, right? Sean Marks, the GM, says everyone was consulted, but the decision came down to him and the owner of the team. And we know that the owner of the team came out and said he didn't like what Kyrie was doing. Sean Marks said the decision was that the Nets didn't come to it hastily, but that all options were on the board. Ultimately, he said it comes down to having everyone available all the time, saying it's not fair to the team and to Kyrie. And then there was one other thing that I wanted to read you guys. Sean Marks says, the hope is that we'll have Kyrie back. We'll welcome him back with open arms, but under different circumstances. Sean Marks, Kyrie has made it clear he has a choice in this matter. Says it's his right to do that, but it's in the organization's best interest to make this decision. So this is huge because it means that they're not going to have Kyrie at all. And no one's surprised by this. Obviously, Kyrie Irving was not going to get the vaccine. He's a flat earther. He's a guy who thinks he's smarter than everyone else. And, you know, he clearly was going to be anti-vax. Like, is anyone surprised by that? No. But it's putting KD's season in jeopardy, James Harden's season in jeopardy. You know, these were guys like KD's trying to prove that he can do it away from Golden State. James Harden's trying to prove that he can do it, period, right? Win a championship. And so this is what you get when you have Kyrie Irving. You're going to gamble like this. And this gamble now, like, this is the worst possible thing. And so obviously if they're going to try to trade him somewhere, I see that Colin Reed, our AM Hoops Plus member, is saying, could I see him being dumped to OKC? What would they get in return? That's my question, because what they need, Colin, the Nets need something that's going to help them this year to win a championship. So if it's not Shea, which it's not going to be, you know, I wonder what it would be. But yeah, this really hurts the Nets' chances at a championship. I still think that the Nets are the favorite. The emergence of Cam Thomas, the rookie who was the MVP of Summer League, the fact that they got Patty Mills as a point guard, now as a backup, they've got depth. They've got these other stars who are past their primes, like Paul Millsap, Blake Griffin, LaMarcus Aldridge, not to mention maybe the best player in the game, Kevin Durant, and James Harden. And James Harden is more of a point guard than Kyrie was anyway, right? So I still think that I'm picking the Nets over the Bucks, even though the Bucks obviously have a ton of confidence from last year, right? So I think that the Bucks, by getting through last year, now when they get in those tight spots, they're not going to cramp up. You know, they're going to feel that confidence of having won it before. And so people are suggesting, oh, what about Kyrie Irving for Ben Simmons? That seems to make sense to us, right? Well, Kevin Durant's already come out and said he does not want that. So, you know, right now, all we know is that the Nets are going to move on without Kyrie Irving unless he gets the shot. Maybe they'll look to trade him. Sports Illustrated has come out and said Kyrie's trade value is almost zero. So Kyrie has shot himself in the foot and he shot the organization in the foot, both by not having him available to play and basically not having him available to trade. And again, if you are the Nets, you're going to try to trade Kyrie for something that can help you win today, because that's all they care about. The Nets don't care about future draft picks or good young players. They don't care about that stuff. They need veterans who have been there before in the playoffs, who have proven that they can win in the playoffs. So if you come up with a Kyrie trade idea, it's got to include a guy who can help you win a big game, not a guy who's never been there before, and certainly not future draft picks. Like, that stuff is meaningless to the Brooklyn Nets. So, I still have the Nets, of course, health pending, as the title favorites. But I'm glad for the Nets that they're going to start to put this crap behind them, because this was the right decision from the Nets. You want to make a firm decision about Kyrie before the season starts. Because if you don't, and it's still up in the air, then the season starts and it's like, oh, is he, isn't he, is he not, is he not? And you're being asked about it every single day. Now the Nets have made the right decision. They are like, look, this is the deal. If Kyrie's going to be a part-time player, he ain't on our team, period. So now we have clarity on that messed up situation, very clear. So now they can go on about their business, about the season, knowing exactly where they stand. They're not wondering, are we going to have him or not? We don't know. Now they're like, you know what, dude, we're over it. So we got our group here, the guys who are available to play, and we're going to go into the season with our group. You can choose to join us or not, but we're not going to play the in and out game. We're not going to wonder. Like, we know. We have our group. We're going to go forward. I like that clarity, right? And that's, even though it's a tough decision to make, this decision brings that clarity. This is good. So I am all in for this decision that the Nets made today. I still have them as championship favorites. And we'll see if anyone will trade for Kyrie or if Kyrie will end up getting the shot. I think Kyrie would probably rather retire than get the shot. So we may see Kyrie Irving retire. It would be a fitting end to his wild career, wouldn't it? He won a championship with LeBron. Then he goes out and thinks he can do it on his own, fails in Boston, goes to Brooklyn, is nothing but a circus sideshow in Brooklyn, and then won't be a part of a championship team if they win it this year, and then possibly he'll just retire. I feel like this is how it should end for Kyrie. He's been such a head case from almost day one after LeBron got to Cleveland. And now it may end like this. I think, that makes sense. So it's just too bad for KD that when he went to Brooklyn, he chose to hitch his ride. His other star that went with him to Brooklyn happened to be crazy Kyrie. That's too bad. Good thing that James Harden decided he wanted to go to the Nets. Otherwise, KD would be absolutely screwed. But look, this thing isn't over. We're going to hear, did he get the shot? Did they trade him? Or did Kyrie retire? We're going to hear one of those three options. For now, I still like the Nets, but I'm a big fan of them making this decision. All right, guys, I will see you at 5 p.m. for today's video. Later.